one of the more stable veteran rooms on the team. How's fall camp been for you?
It's been really exciting. Really just being able to see a lot of the same familiar faces. The thing that we're just focusing on now is just continuing to hone in on our techniques. The way that we run our routes, the depth, and all that. And so it's been good. It's been fun. As you can hear, the guys are excited to have an off day. We just got done with meetings, so they're ready to get out of here. But it's been good. It's been good. Rivaldo, B, Luke, Mike, and Rico through the portal, and then we got a couple new walk-ons. But everybody's healthy so far.
Man, has it been different working with Derek as offensive coordinator? How's that been?
It hadn't been different. It's been fun. I think the one thing that you'll hear a lot of is just the continuity. Obviously being with Coach Jake for our second year together, but everybody else in that room, we've worked somehow, some way. And so I was with Derek at a previous stop for 7 years, and so it's been really, really interesting to see his growth. And his knowledge of the game, but it's been fun. We've been sitting in there going through some stuff and just reminiscing about all the good times that we've had, and hopefully we can have some more of that here.
How do you feel like Derek Nix's offense plays to the strength of your position group?
I think just him being able to see, one, the success that we had with Evan and Dawson when we were all together, and then this previous year where they had the Caden kid, the 86 from Ole Miss, and seeing his progression there. The thing that surprised him, and he didn't realize how deep our room was. And so that's been really exciting for him, being able to kind of implement a lot of our tight end stuff and some of the stuff that Coach Freeze has done in the past. So it's been good for us, but for Coach Nix, it's kind of a new era for him because now he's got multiple tight ends that he could put out on the field and be really comfortable with stretching the field. So.
Do you see more of a connection? I'm sure I probably know the answer between him and Coach Freeze.
There is. I think for a lot of us that have worked with him, we can always find a solution to any problems that we feel like that Coach hadn't thought through. When he presents some certain things, certain concepts, we already kind of know where his mind is going. So again, like that continuity of everybody with Coach Harris and Coach Kent, and we all kind of know how this offense works, what works and what doesn't, and so the continuity has been really good.
With the added playmakers on the outside, is Rivaldo able to spend more time back more in a traditional tight end? Like, was he spending a lot of time tinkering outside as a playmaker, and now he's maybe able to hone in a little bit more on?
Yeah, and that's what whatever we had last year, we had to find ways to find our playmakers, get them the ball, and obviously as we went through the season, especially after that Cal game, we kind of knew that he could win some of those one-on-one matchups outside, and so. Last year we had to find some ways to utilize him, to move him around. But to answer your question, it helps having those weapons. When you look at that wide receiver room, it's totally different. Everybody talks about Coach Freeze has he has a certain look to a wide receiver, and when you look at that room right now, we're getting there, and it helps us, kind of move Rivaldo within the box, keep him there. Take those advantages when we get to the passing game, but it's helping his game because now he's spending more time within the box where I think that run game stuff, he's taking a lot of pride in what we're doing in there.
Ben, what's it like coaching a tight end older than you with Luke Deal back?
You saw my question?
Fun. He's almost like I forgot who I was telling this the other day. He's almost like a second coach in there for me. We go through all the schemes and everything, and it's been fun. The really good thing with him is, his wife, Ansley, they're about to have a baby here soon. So, just another year with him has been really good.
What about Micah? He's the guy, the one that's always had a lot of promise, a lot of hope, and what are you looking for? And how's he kind of progressed?
The one word that we've always used with him was consistency, and just seeing where his game has gone in a year and a half. We jokingly in the meeting room yesterday, showed some clips of him when he got here his first year, and to see how much he's progressed over the years in his footwork and his the physicality has never been a problem for him. But to continue to, a lot of things that we're asking him to do, he didn't do in high school. So I'm excited about Mike. You'll see a lot of Mike, hopefully, as he stays healthy more this year.
Apologize if you already got asked this, but do you feel like Rivaldo has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder after not being mentioned on the SEC preseason honors, or is that not a factor?
I think he's always got a chip on his shoulder. He's a kind of young man that comes in and works, puts his head down, and whatever success comes his way, he's going to take it. He's a huge team player. The thing that we've emphasized, man, when the play comes our way, make it, and if, do what we're asked to do. If we got to go block the box, let's go do that. But I think for him, he just puts his head down and goes to work, and he wasn't mentioned whatever it was last year, and he ended up being a really good player for us, and so I know he's excited about that.
And you always hope for the best when you get guys out of the portal, but did you think getting Valdo out of FIU, do you think he could be an all-SEC guy year one?
Did I think? I had hopefully I thought it was going to happen, but, I don't know if I've ever said the story. When FIU, his freshman year, came to Liberty when we were there, he was their tight end. He went off that night, and I looked at Coach Lowe and I told him if I'm ever at another school where he hits the portal, that's who we're going to go get. And lo and behold, 2 years later, we get here again a couple weeks later. It's just crazy how it happens. But seeing him in person, I kind of knew what his skill set was.
That makes him so good in those contested catch situations. He's a big guy, obviously. But
I think it's just him he's a basketball player before he plays football his junior year. I think that's what it is. It's just him being able to, he's got really strong hands. He knows how to maneuver his body. I think that's what has kind of, helped him with the ball skills and everything.
What have you seen from Rico?
Rico, super physical kid, obviously because he played defensive end in high school. He's got really good ball skills. I've always got to remind myself he's new to the position. But him learn his learning skill. It's been really good. Micah's kind of taken him under his wing and kind of teach him the ropes. But it's been really good to see, some of the things that he's doing out there with his skill set and the physicality that he plays with. The one that's exciting me a lot right now, and he hardly gets talked about, is Brandon. He is. I'm excited about Brandon. I'm excited about what he's going to do. But he's had a really good camp for us. Hopefully he continues to stay healthy. But he's the one that I think, when he came out of high school, everybody was excited about. But I think, we found a home for him where he can be really, really effective.
What's he excelling at? Where's he taking off?
It's the run game was always a strong suit, but it's more of the passing, the ball skills. Again, another basketball player. He caught a slot fade in practice the other day, and that's kind of where you saw him. It's very similar to the catch against LSU, something like that he's doing more in practice. That's got us, our offensive staff really excited about what he's going to bring to the table.
you got a lot of guys in your room who have played a lot of seasons of college football. What do you like about that?
That's what I love about it. I just tell those guys, hey, these are the tools that we use. Right, this is the scheme, and if anything changes on the field, they can all fix it for you. So that's the advantages of having those older guys in there, and I've been really blessed with that.
Ben, things have been going well on the recruiting front. Why is that in your eyes?
I think it's just now that we've got a chance to really build relationships. I know when we first got here, we were a little behind. But for us to have a year and a half, even 2 years to build a relationship with these young men, I think that's what, in Auburn itself, you get kids on campus. A lot of these kids, they talk. So when a kid comes to visit Auburn, they talk to their buddies and they're like, okay, I got to go see it for myself. And I think that's what it is. And just, Coach Free sets the tone for all of us. He's relentless in that area. And so, we're always competing. Who's going to be the first one to call a parent or call a student athlete, and then we all do it collectively as a family. So, whatever tight end we're recruiting, Coach Nix and those guys in the offensive staff room, they know them just like I do.
Man, we get to see pictures and videos and all that, but what's the craziest catch you've seen from Cam, whether it's in spring practice or fall camp?
Oh, wow, there's a lot. We've been only practicing for I guess, seven practices. He's a special specimen, if I would say. But I think the other day when he caught the fade ball in the indoor was one of the top catches I've seen freshmen make.
Coach, apologize for asking this. Where did you feel like Rivaldo had room to improve after that first year? You mentioned before he's still relatively new to football, a big-time player at his position. Where did you feel like he excelled, and where did he need to improve after that first year?
I think just him excelling was more of the understanding of the concepts of what we use. Right, I did not realize his IQ, his FBI in football was that high, and that's been really good. He obviously excelled in the pass catching area, but I think the area that he needed to work on the most in this offseason that we've talked through a lot is, one, the run game, our footwork, being more, let's go attack, right, sport instead of being more reactive, and then two, just being able to be violent with our cuts, right, and so in creating separation when we need to.
You mentioned Brandon, a couple players have mentioned